Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show episode 171. And in this one is obviously that preview to the Manchester City game, which is obviously tomorrow, 3 p.m. kickoff at the Etihad. Don't get more difficult than that, in my opinion, especially this season. You look at their record there, and things like that. It's one of them. But yeah, like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good in the hood. Hope you're cool.
Yeah, I'm all right. Glad you're all good. And big up to everyone, of course. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So the Man City game, like I say, it don't get more difficult than that. Especially for me, when you look at games like yesterday, yes, that was in Europe, but Liverpool lost at Anfield finally. Man City are just on a roll. Yeah, they haven't been as great as they have been in previous years, but they're still up there. We know this is the time of the season where they're usually like proper on it. Especially in the previous years. And that's the thing with them. They usually have slow starts to seasons, but they still, they're still always up there. Especially in recent years. And yeah, bit of insight going into it, like we always do. Man City have won their last 4 home league games against Luton by an aggregate score of 12-1. They last hosted them in April 1999 in the third tier, which was a 2-0 win. When they last did so in the top flight in February 1992, which was 4-0. Luton have conceded 8 goals against Man City in all competitions this season, losing 2-1 in the Premier League and 6-2 in the FA Cup. They last conceded more against the side in a single campaign, excluding as a non-league side, in 1999. 11 in 4 meetings. 11 in 4 meetings with Bristol Rovers. And then this one is not great either. Luton have never won an away league match against the reigning top flight champions in 16 attempts, drawing 3, losing 13. Losing the last 9 by an aggregate score. That's not good. 27-2 overall. So yeah, it's not great there. Bit more on Man City. De Bruyne, 16 Premier League games, winning 12 and drawing 4 of them. That's in their last Premier League games as a whole, not just at home. This is their home form note. The hosts are unbeaten in their last 40 home games in all competitions, just 2 short of their all-time club record of 42, set between December 1919 and November 1921. De Bruyne has been involved in 9 goals from just 11 Premier League appearances this season, scoring 3 and assisting 6. De Bruyne has been averaging a goal or assist every 75 minutes this term, the best rate of any player who has played at least 500 minutes. Phil Foden has scored 9 goals in his last 9 Premier League games, with his 14 goals overall this season, his best return in a single campaign. So that's that. Bit more on Man City. So just really good records there. As for team news, right, I'm going to read it out. Got a picture of it. So players out. We've got Kabore, obviously, can't play against his parent club. Chio, Sambi, Osho, Elijah, Anderson, Nakamba, Brown, Bell, Lockyer, Potts. So most of them obviously been out for a while now. Still haven't got any players back, which is a bit annoying. And then doubts is Burke and Menji. So potentially we might not have any centre backs against Man City, and if that is the case, then I worry anyway. But geez, I worry even more. But I've got a positive frame of mind that one of them will at least be available, which is better than nothing. And it probably will be Menji, because we know what Burke's like when it comes to, being injured a lot, unfortunately. So yeah, and then officials for this one will be John Brooks. 128 yellow cards and 6 red cards have been handed out by Brooks across his 30 games this season. We last had a game ran by when we lost at Aston Villa. So that was the 3-1. Apologies if you can hear that. People speeding up the road, just typical. So yeah, that is that. And then VAR is Chris Kavanagh. So yeah, that is that. Going into this game, yeah, it's not looking good, is it, Dad?
No, it's not difficult going there anyway. Any team goes there, you know, like I said, they've won, they haven't lost in 40 odd games or whatever it is. And I do believe Menji or one of them will be there. Probably, maybe not even 100%. We've got no one back, so it's just going to be backs to the wall. Like for me, like you just need to just try and keep it down, but it's just going to be extremely difficult. They're going to be, a certain frame of mind. Yeah, they'll have one eye on the Real Madrid game, but they've got more than enough to deal with us at the moment. And so not confident in this game. Just hopeful that we keep the score down, don't get any more injuries, and then we've got Brentford Cup final at home. And that's what, and potentially maybe even we'll have one eye on that. So it could be quite a weird game in certain ways, but yeah, I don't expect us to come away with nothing. I mean, with anything, sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, like you say about that Brentford game, obviously I said it on the last one. Apparently, don't know how true it is, and I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, but apparently from the opening training session, a few fans, spoke to the players that have been out, like Osho and Lokonga, and they said they're hopeful that they're back for that game. Obviously, that will be massive. Like we say, the home games, we need to really make the most of them. And like you say, that it starts from Brentford. Obviously, it started from, you could say, Bournemouth, proper, or Forest. But obviously, Forest didn't quite win that one. But yeah, these remaining ones, we need to not lose any, really. Try and not lose any, because if we lose one, yeah, it's probably not looking great, to be honest. And yeah, like you say, try not get the goal difference out. It's one of them where you got to try and keep it respectable. Might not have no centre backs, might have one, might have two. So it's one of them. Man City. People say, "Oh yeah, but they'll rotate. They have that eye on the Madrid game." For me, it don't really matter. You look at the FA Cup game; they rotated. A little bit, and it's Man City at the end of the day. When they rotate, they still got X amount of players that can come on from the bench. Often could get in top 6 teams, players on the bench. So for me, when people say that of Man City, it doesn't matter at all. However, I do feel like Chris says here, Luton will give it a go, and it can be getting behind. And I do believe that. Like you say, I think even the other day they were playing John Stones right back, which I thought was a bit crazy. So we can, we can have our moments. It's just, they're at home. Basically what I'm trying to say is I'm confident we can score, but they'll just have too much for us. Even if we had everyone fit, it's Man City at the end of the day. They're not treble winners and all that for no reason. Do you know what I mean? So,
give me 115 reasons.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what goes on with that. But at this current moment in time, it's just VAR injuries and that. You can't be confident for me. I mean, if you are, then fair enough. I want to know what you've been drinking. But yeah, for me, you just can't really be. You've got to be honest. Yes, we back the team, all this, but you've got to be honest at times. Do you know what I mean? So, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, that as well. City literally got 2 teams basically. Have. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. And again, it's another one of them away games, isn't it? When you have your chances, you've got to take them. You have to take them. So it's one of them. Yeah, exactly. That's how we're seeing it. That's how we're seeing it, Jackie. When it comes to that, like you say, Dad, them cup finals essentially against Brentford. Who's the other one? Everton. Them games at home are the games we're looking at. And like I say, hopeful that Osho's back. Lokonga. I don't know about anyone else. Probably not, if I'm going to be honest. And even then, I'm just hopeful, like I say, of them being back because, tried to have my hopes up for many weeks that, like a lot of Luton fans, that players will be back, and they haven't been. Unfortunately, obviously it's not their fault. It's just what it is, isn't it? I guess so. Yep, there's that. But yeah, we'll move on to the lineups. Lineups in this one. So obviously, I'll go first, like always. So yeah, obviously I've done it pre before, like last time. So this is my lineup that I'll go going into it. So Kaminsky in goal, obviously. He's going to have a massive game, a massive task tomorrow. It's probably going to be like them games early on in the season where he's going to have a lot, coming at him. So it's going to be interesting, to see how he does. I think he will do well, like always, but it is going to be difficult for him. Defensively, back three in this one. I've got Mengi in the middle because like I say, I'm confident that he'll be available. I'm not too sure about Burks. Like I say, you know what he's like when it comes to being injured and that, unfortunately. So I'm going to say Mengi is playing again. And then the two alongside him, I'm going to say it's Hashioka on the right. I mean, obviously, if Burke is available, then yeah, you do go with him, because he is that natural centre back. I'm going to go with Hashioka. I mean, he is more of a right-sided player as well, as we know. So I'm going to say he goes there. Since that Bournemouth game, the one where we lost, he's looked a lot more confident and stuff in games. So I'll go with him, And then on the other side, I'm going to go Johnson. If any of the youth start, it probably will be him. I'll be very, very surprised if it's anyone else. People are saying about the 16-year-old, but that's too risky for me, against Man City. And I know we're in a mud with injuries, but that would be a huge, huge risk. And Johnson's been in and around the team longer. So if you're going to go with someone, you've got to go with him. If you're going to go with any of the youth. And then the wing backs, I'm going to go Doughty. Again, massive shout out to him. The amount of games he's played, he's gonna have to play tomorrow again. So there's that. And then the other side, I'm gonna go Fred. I mean, last season he played there a few times for us, and when he's come on, he's even the Arsenal game. He was in that role, wasn't he? So I'll go with him on that right side. Obviously, like I say, Kabore can't play. Going to be a huge, huge game for Fred. It's going to be very interesting. And in the midfield, I'm going to go with Barkley. Shout out to Barkley, by the way. He's come out today and said, I want to help the club stay in the Premier League. I love the club. It's helped me so much and I owe them a lot. So I'm focused on that and I'm thinking about nothing other than helping them do that. I fell in love with football again at Luton. Obviously, that doesn't mean he's definitely going to stay. If we did, go down, for example, I don't think he would. I'll be honest. He also said he wants to be playing in Europe again. And let's be honest, is he going to be doing that? Us? Probably not. Definitely not this season. Even if he stayed up next season, it'd be a big ask for me. So, it's one of them. But shout out to him for that. So he said that today. And then obviously on the other side, I'm going to go Clark. Again, he had a really good game against Man City. So that's the reason I'll go with that, to be honest. Obviously, he scored 2 really good goals. And, obviously he stepped up massively in the second half against Bournemouth. First half, I don't think he's good enough. He's very loose with his passing, kept giving it away. But second half, he massively stepped up. So I'll go with him. Like I say, he had a good game against Man City. And then the front three, Chong on the left. Again, who else are you really going to go for there? You could maybe put Clark higher, Ruddock alongside Barkley, or even go with Woodrow. But again, Woodrow, he's more of an impact player for me. He's not really a starter, in my opinion. So I'm going to go Chong. And then the other side, Townsend. I mean, again, there's another debate. If Burke is available, you could maybe go with Burke on the right, Hashioka on the right, wing back, and then maybe Fred higher. Because you did see that sort of glimpse, didn't you, briefly against Bournemouth. But I'm going to go with Townsend. I know he hasn't been great, to what we know he can be. But again, that experience in a game like this. And then I'm going to obviously go with Morris up front. That's a straightforward one. Obviously got his goal. Very nice finish. And he'll have a lot of confidence. And, if we do score, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we did. That goal. Obviously, he's, now with Elijah being out, it could overtake him if he does score as well. be our top scorer this season. So, yeah, that's my lineup in this one. So, yeah, just to run through it again. Kaminsky in goal, obviously. Johnson on the left side. Hashioka in the middle. Jackie does say, I think Menji's out. It's a 50-50. But like I say, I think out of him and Burke, he will be available. So, yeah, that's why I go with it. But if not, I really don't know what we're going to do. It's worrying, to be honest. I don't want to think of it like that. It's as worrying as it is. Doughty on the left, Fred on the right, the wing backs, Barkley and Clark in midfield, and then ahead of them, Chong on the left side, Townsend on the right, Morris up front. So that's my lineup going into this one. Dad, what is your lineup going into this one? And do get in your lineup predictions and score predictions as well. There you go, Dad.
Right, so I've got Kaminsky, Shea, and Krul in goal. I've gone with the what we kind of played with against Arsenal, so I've gone like a 4-3-3. So
Yeah.
I'm going Doughty, defending more. I think Menji will still start. If not, I'm sure one of them will. Hashioka, them two in the centre, and then Fred, as he was against Arsenal, in that position. And then free midfield, Barkley, Ruddock, and Clark. Maybe Berry, but I think Ruddock will probably start this game. 400th appearance against Man City, and then Townsend, he weren't great in the last game, but he needs to, he's got the quality. He could be fast on the counter attack and help us. So yeah, him on the right, Chong starting again, and then obviously Captain Morris. So yeah, I was thinking maybe Johnson will start, possibly. If Menji is injured, then I can see Johnson sitting in there. He did come on against Man City. It is a big ask, but at the end of the day, he wants to play at the top level, and that he said. So, this is comfortable when they come on before against Man City. Yeah, they were 6-2 up by then, I think. But he looked pretty assertive. No, he come on way before him, actually. Sorry, but he didn't put a foot wrong. Really, he was close to Haaland when he
very composed as well.
Yeah. So
on the basics.
But it all depends who's fit. Like, they haven't trained. That means that they don't want them to train because they're just sort of nursing injury. It doesn't mean they're necessarily out. Burke, I'm surprised at because I thought he was all right. I don't remember him coming off in the last game. Correct. Well,
I can't even remember.
Menji was going through it, but I think Menji will be fine. I think you might even find that they're both fine, and then that changes the lineup again.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Fred to start. Hardly done anything. He's come. If you'd have said to him, "Well, yeah, you're going to be on loan at Rotherham. They're going to go down. You're going to get in. You're going to do right for them, and then you're going to come back to Luton and get nothing. Then you'll be gone at the end of the season, or you're going to come back to Luton and you're going to play against Arsenal away, Spurs away, and Man City away. Like what? He's done. I can see us scoring. I can see a lot of players that are going to be itching to score. Clark, to get 3 goals against City. He can bang that in his career. If he gets another banger as well, like that's 3 excellent goals that he can show his grandkids. Yeah, look, I scored 3 times. You know what I mean? Ruddock, who I'd love to score against Man City. That'd be it. That'd be brilliant. Even if we lost, don't matter. And then we'll see. But we have to go for that kind of defensive setup for me, and just try and get them on the break, and that's it. Give the fans something to cheer about. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Even with a fully, if we had flipping the Conga in there, I'm not going to say Kabore, obviously, but Brown available on the bench, Elijah up front, Elijah and Morris up front,
Chio.
Yeah, like we probably score against them and give them a much better game, but it's going to be difficult. If Ruddock and Clark are starting, they've rose proper through the ranks. Them two, whereas Man City's players play world class, and they all of them, every single player is world class, isn't it? We've got potential couple. You can say Barkley. Barkley for me is definitely kind of world class. Elite level.
Yeah, it's like when Big Steve came on and he said he reckons like Barkley could play for Man City. That.
Yeah, no, it could.
Exactly. Play for any team in the Prem, in my opinion, in midfield, definitely.
If that defense is on the, very very weak, really. Even like that. Doughty, he can track back and that. He can get blocks in. He can't. He's not a tackler. Menji obviously the best. Hashioka still growing, learning. Fred, he's not bad, but this is Man City. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And like I said, Ruddock. Don't know. I want to see him start. Why not? These are the games that even if there's a footballer who's dreamed about it, fuck it.
Mm.
Who are we going to play instead anyway? Maybe Berry.
That's the thing. I think Berry's quite similar to Woodrow in the sense of they're more good to bring on as impact players.
Yeah,
that's why I never really mentioned Berry when it comes to starting. But obviously, big up to him. But I think he's better as an impact player.
So yeah, that's my lineup. And then I read a couple of pundits thing, obviously predicting us to lose, and it was one of them, Chris Sutton, saying they're going to go down because they've got to play. And he got it wrong anyway. It was like they got to play West Ham away, they got to play Thingy away, Wolves away, they got to play Brentford away. No, that's at home, mate. You know what I mean? Like, and it's easier for them to say now, isn't it? Because we were in that. But we'll be back.
Oh yeah.
Regardless, what I do think is we are going to get done over. Whether it be staying up and then the points come back, or it's just the injury. It's the injuries. I think if we didn't have the injuries, I think we could probably do it. We could definitely do it. But these injuries have hurt us massively, and I don't think enough players are going to be back. We've got 6 games left. We've got to win 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them. 4 of them, I'd say.
Yeah.
I can't see. I think our best spell was 6 unbeaten, maybe. We won 2 in a row. That's it. Like, we've got to be like winning 3 in a row. We've got to be like, we've done that. We've done it in the Championship, albeit when Nathan Jones come back, but it's still the same kind of mentality. But for me, and I said it a couple of months ago to you, didn't I? Said if we get any more, we had a couple of injuries, certain, and Nakamba obviously, and Nokia, and then bang, there was like a few more, and I was like, if this carries on, that'll fuck us over, and it did. It just got worse and worse and worse and worse, and that's what's going to cost us in the end. And you can't say, oh, we just shouldn't have signed this person. What people are forgetting is you've got a 25-man squad, and you have to get rid of players before you sign them. And that weren't happening, was it? We got rid of Giles, got Hashioka. That's probably I think Hashioka's probably done more than Giles has so far. It's probably a better recruitment. But other than that, what were we going to do? You can't. You'd have to sell players. We'll be in a much better position next season, especially whatever league we're in. But probably if we're in a Championship, because the players we got out on loan, McAtee, Taylor, they could fit straight into it. Definitely, get into the Championship and not have that high pressure in the Premier League. Have a season in there, hone their skills more, and they would probably both be ready for the Premier League then. we can keep hold of the likes of Menji, obviously Barkley, that'd be amazing. Probably unlikely, but replacing, we know we try and replace someone in midfield who can pass it around, and that you just don't know what's going to happen. Any of the loan players, do you reckon we'd sign? Lokonga, I think.
Maybe if Kabore carries on, I could see that.
Yeah, because I don't think he's not getting in Man City's team, is he?
Yeah, exactly. And someone said to me the other day, one of my mates just, on messages, he said, like, he reckon, like, he could, if he carries on like this, he'd get next. I said, no, because we've got players like Rico Lewis coming through, to be that replacement for Kyle Walker, if he did go, which I don't think is unlikely anytime soon. He keeps getting rumoured with Bayern Munich, and you're seeing a lot of the players going there from England, so.
I think if Kabore had a season in the Championship, I think it really helped him develop as a player.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because that's a lot more like, yeah.
So, and we know players will be going. I know we're talking about it like we're down, but from, I'm still keeping the faith. I've done it for years. But I know when it's not looking good, and it's probably not going to happen. And this is it's purely down to injuries, not skill, not management, nothing like that. There was a couple of games we should have won. Sheffield United, we've got definitely not have lost anyway. But this is such a tight-ended season. You can't afford to make any mistakes, any slip-ups, or you're done for. And unfortunately, I think with the injuries we've got, it's inevitable. Some of these players have been playing in League Two, League One, things like that. And it's just levels, isn't it? So, but yeah, enjoy the game tomorrow.
Yeah, well.
Just look at the positives. You've got to look at it like that. There's no point getting stressed about it. I don't know what you're like as well, Tyler. You might, watch it.
Well, I don't even know what's going on tomorrow, to be fair.
Just pretend it's just like a friend. I don't know. Just enjoy it for what it is. Just, get anything out of it. It'll be incredible.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Just enjoy it. Just want, Pelly Ruddock to nutmeg someone in midfield. That I'll take that. Clark scoring another banger. Pep getting rattled on the touchline. Just
oh, that would be quite funny.
And that's it, really. And just see what happens at Brentford. See if we got back, and we know, and the players will know that they can't be dropping any. They've got to win that game again. Got a bit of a shit record against Brentford, but
especially since
we're a better team now. We're a better team. When we played them away, we defend. We go
the last 15 minutes we turned up. That weren't good enough.
Yeah, and we've done the same at Brighton. Look what happened. And I'd say Brighton are still better than Brentford. I know we got certain players out on that, but we can still work as hard as we did in that game and try and make sure we get something. I know it's ahead, but we were sort of overlooking this game. But you have to. You have just played Real Madrid for the Champions. One of the two of the richest.
14-time winners for no reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. In this
two of the best
competition as well.
Two of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can say, "Oh, look." Then this is where you do say, "Look at us." 10 years ago. This is where you have to say that. I know some people don't like it, but it's facts. You would have thought, we've played Man City, and then that new signing we just signed, Jordan Clark, whatever, 8 years ago, he's going to score some banging goal against Man City.
Two, actually.
Things like that. We're going to have Ross Barkley playing for us. I've known about Ross Barkley for ages. Always liked him as a player. Such natural talent, do you know what I mean? You don't really get that. And I think that's part of Southgate's agenda, that's what you got back in the days. Gascoigne, he was part of the team. I don't know what it is. It's like someone who can't really hone him, he won't work with this and that and the other. that's where you're going wrong, mate. You have to like Ward-Prowse. He should have had more opportunities. Just what he can do. He's still holding off on Tony a bit as well.
Yeah.
You need these players who just try outrageous things on that. And that's what we're lacking, and that's why we won't win anything with him in charge. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway, that's for the Euros. Get more into that on the Euros. But yeah, no, totally agree. I've been saying the same things about that guy. It's just mad. If I'm being honest, and not that I don't think that he should have, but I'm a little bit surprised he actually picked Tony recently, just due to the betting stuff, because I know he's a bit, Southgate can be a bit funny about that. You know what I mean? That sort of side of things. So, but yeah, he, for me, he's the second striker behind Kane. Some people could argue Watkins, but I don't know, man. I think Tony's better personally. But there we go. Through a few comments, go through some comments. Big up to Stephen. He says, big up Ty and Dazza. I was cooking dinner. I had you on in the background. Yeah, no worries, mate. Big up to yourself. Oh, Jesus. Oh, dear. Yeah, it's great. I don't know. I see people keep posting stuff about him, as in our fans, but I don't know. I think they're just violating him for just chatting absolute nonsense, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really look at it.
He said something the other day. I didn't even read it, but I heard about it. He said when we lost to, I think he gave Morris team of the week, but then he said something about I can't see where they're going to get the goal or something like that, even though we'd scored in 18 previous games or whatever in the Premier League. Usual.
And he put someone in who scored.
Yeah.
Okay, mate, that makes sense. True. The expectations we looked at go down, we'll come straight back up. No, I agree. It's like we have said, on previous shows. You look at the Championship this season, for example. Look at all the teams that went down. They're all in and around it. I know they've all, had some weird results, but that's what the Championship's like. We know that, and because it's quite relentless in the Championship, in the sense of you're playing midweek, you're playing weekend. You can have games like that, and that's why for me the Championship's better to watch as well, because there's a lot more shocks, and it's not as much as this team has this amount of money, so they
no VAR.
No VAR as well. Like I watched one of the 0-0s the other day. I think it's a Leeds one, and even then that was like a decent watch. For a 0-0 game, it's. If you get that in the Premier League, it's usually like one team's dominating but not scoring. You know what I mean? Whereas that anything can sort of happen. For that, there's a lot more to play for as well. Yes, obviously Premier League's better of quality of players. We know that, but when it comes to competitiveness, I've always said it myself. I prefer the Championship because it's just there's more to it. To fight for as well. Anyone can beat anyone literally on any given day. It's one of them really. Even though it didn't beat us, look at a few years ago when we drew to Peterborough. I mean, they could have probably won that, in the last 10 minutes. So stuff like that, for example, when we were quite heavily favourites that day, I remember it. So stuff like that. And again, I agree with this. We can win all our 3 home games and draw at Wolves. I do believe that. Obviously, again, like you say, that it does depend on the injuries, but I think, if I'll tell you what, if Wolves carry on how they have been since Coventry, they got knocked out, then I think we can get a draw. It's a very hit and miss. If it's Wolves earlier on in the season, then maybe, well, at home anyway, away they're a bit iffy. But then again, you look at the game we had against them at our ground. You do expect it to be a bit different, but I remember coming out of that game saying we're very unlucky not to win that. If we're being honest, Morris had that really good shot, didn't he? In the first half, and we were just peppering them up. So I'm not saying we're going to do that at their ground, but I think I agree. I do agree with that. And the home games, like I've said, obviously Brentford will get more into that. But like I say, like we said, especially since I've properly been invested into us, we've always struggled against them. And we've always lost quite heavily, to be honest. So that's why I was a bit wary. But seeing how they're doing, do you know what I mean? They have got a good chance to extend that this weekend. The points, so there might be, in a way, I'd want them to win because it sort of, boosts them a bit more. If they they lose, then they'll be like proper itching to win this. Of course they would, but you know what I'm trying to say. And then obviously, who else have we got? We got Everton. I mean, they'll make it scrappy, but again, that's changed to under the lights now, hasn't it? So, we tend to do better in them games, I would say. It's on TV as well. We don't have that TV voodoo like we did, whatever the word is, a couple of years ago. It's in the Championship. So yeah, again, I'm confident in that. And then Fulham, like I've said, I reckon by then they'll be on the beach, nothing to play for. It's still a good team. Don't get me wrong, it's still a good team. But even then, again, I look at the game at their ground, where they've been so good in a lot of games at home. They've beat teams 5-0, stuff like that. They just managed to beat us through a handball, goal that shouldn't have stood. So I do agree. I do agree with that. Totally. So yeah, there we go. Yeah. No, that was crazy. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I mean, first half, I weren't surprised. You know what Liverpool have been like in first half of games, and they always concede, at the moment. But I couldn't believe it. Like the third goal, I could not believe that. Liverpool players jogging, that was bizarre. But can they come back? I mean, I don't know. They are known for doing it, but Italy going to these Italian teams where they work as hard as they do, it's just different for me. It's different, But we'll see what goes on. We'll see what goes on in that. But yeah, talking about predictions and that, Dad, score prediction for this game.
I want to say we keep it tight, but I just can't see it. I think they will be using us as a little bit of a frustration exercise from their game against Real Madrid, and I think we'll score, but I think they'll score a lot more, and Haaland's going to, probably end up getting a hat trick or something. Score the most goals against the team, whatever I did. Especially if we've got Mendy and that out. Well, so I'm going to go 4-1 City.
Jeez, fair enough. I mean, that is close to my prediction, to be honest. Some people, they might not like mine, but I've got to be realistic. In my opinion, with the injuries, that side of things, just Man City as a whole, how good they have been at home, like I say, I'm going to go 6-1 Man City. They scored 6 at our ground as well. Yes, they had a rotated side. They might rotate a little bit, but again, I don't think it matters with Manchester City. I really don't think that. I can see Haaland scoring at least a hat trick. I'm just going to be honest with it. I remember a lot of people going into it, he ain't scored against us yet. Yeah, because he didn't play against us. And now he's probably going to score the most against us. So, yeah, I'm going 6-1 Man City. I think we'll score. Yeah, I can see Morris scoring. I wouldn't even be surprised if we took the lead and then City just absolutely turned it on. But yeah. That's how I see it going. But big up, because I know it is a few people's first Premier League games. I mean, that would be pretty sick to go to. Could have nearly, could have got tickets myself, to be honest. But yeah, it's one of them. But I know a few people, it is going to be their first Premier League game in the season. It's so hard to get away ticket. Well, tickets full stop, but especially away ones. So big up to anyone that is going to it. Make us, proud with the atmosphere and that, which I'm sure they will. I'm sure the fans will. They always have, especially in away games this season. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what goes on. But yeah, for me, if you're confident, I want to know how many you've been drinking. Do you know what I mean? Or what you've been taking. You know what I mean? But for me, you just can't be. Well, you can be. It's your opinion, but it's very difficult for me to be with the injuries and potentially no centre backs. I mean, like I say, I think Mengi will be okay. I'm not sure about Burke. And also, I look at the thing with Mengi as well, what he said in his interview. After the game against Bournemouth, where he said he'd die for the 3 points, stuff like that. I just feel that he'll, he knows the situation we're in. And he's that type of player who will just be like, he'll still try his best and do his best and be there for the team. So I do think he will be available. Mengi, but Burke, I'm not sure because, like I say, he's injured. He's injury prone, and we know what he's like. So, yeah, again, shout out to him, good player, but his injury record is not great. So, Yeah. But yeah, we'll go through your predictions and we'll do our goal scorers. Obviously, we both said Haaland, but others got scorers as well. It's like Lovren and Saka were back in defence. Yeah, it was crazy. I did think the midfield was probably the worst out of the lot, though. Personally, I feel the only good one was McAllister. Yeah, Endo was crap. Let's be honest. And Szoboszlai, I don't know what's happened with him recently. Don't know what's happened with most of the team. It's crazy, really. It is absolutely crazy. I'm a bit gutted we're not playing Liverpool at this time. Do you know what I mean? If I'm being honest. But then again, we played them at a decent moment for them, and at home and got a draw, so got their result. But yeah, it's still one of them, isn't it? But yeah, big up to Luca. He says, "Big up, yeah, big up yourself, mate." um, oh dear, big up yourself. I wish I could agree. But yeah, big up. Obviously, we are the team that majority of people hope to stay up. Out of all the teams, they're in that battle unless you obviously support one of them. But yeah, it's one of them. But big up yourself for tuning in. And big up to Joshua as well. Big up to yourself, mate. Yeah, no, it's been a while, mate. I'm all right, thanks. What about yourself? Hope you're well. Man United got Bournemouth away, isn't it? Bournemouth away. Yeah, I reckon you guys will win that. But saying that, our Premier League predictions will come out after this as well. So do check them out as well to all the other games if you're interested on the community post and all of that. But Dad, who are your goal scorers? Who's your goal scorer for us? And you can do cities if you want.
I'll do fantasy, mate. Pelly Ruddock for us.
Yeah.
Haaland hat trick and Rodri.
Yeah, Rodri. I could see Rodri. He does like a banger every now and then. I'm not going to lie. So I could see it. For me, I'm going to go Morris. Like I say, I could see him scoring a header. Don't worry, just got a feeling. And then keeping up them goals. 2 out of 2 for him. Then overtaking Elijah. For now, probably will, to be honest, because obviously Elijah looks like he's going to be out for a while. Maybe a last game back at push. But yeah, and then them, I'm going to say, I hate to say it, but I'm going to go Haaland score 4. And then I'm going to go Foden. I mean, it's 75% with Foden, but do you know what I mean? That's more than half. I think he'll be available. And then I'm going to go the other goal. It's going to be someone unexpected. When I say unexpected, he scored the other day. Well, I'm going to go Guardiola for Man City. Obviously, he scored that good goal against Madrid. To be fair, every game. And that shows that they're the 2 best teams as well. Look at the quality of the goals in that game. It's unreal, really. But yeah. Yeah, different circumstances though. I think you'll bounce back and beat them. To be honest, I do think that. I think it'll be tight, but I think you beat them. And then Jackie's goal scorer, Shulman Morris, and then score predictions as well. Jamie, mate, I'd love that, but I cannot see it at all. 2-1. Who's Sheffield United got? Oh yeah, Brentford. I don't know. That's interesting. You can maybe get a draw out of that, but we'll see. But yeah, I love the confidence, mate. But yeah, I can't see it. See it scoring though, like I say. Jackie's gone 3-1. Yeah, fair enough. So is Chris as well. He's gone 3-1. His goal scorer has gone Haaland, Alvarez, Oscar Bob. Yeah, again, I could see that if he starts. I hate to say that because he's a player coming through, but I just could see it. Townsend. Yeah, to be fair, you're not wrong, actually. He does have a good goal scoring record. Look at that goal that he scored for Palace when he beat Man City them years ago. What goal that was. He does have a good record. So it could be, and it's not like he's been, not effective at all. It's just he hasn't been as good as we know he can be. You still look at games like Tottenham, he's still a massive part of that first goal, but it's just sometimes he just tries to do too much, in my opinion, like flicks and just stuff he don't need to do, in my opinion. But I'd still start him. And then Paul has gone 4-1, so he's on the same wavelength as you there as well, Dad. So yeah, that is that. Is that a 3-2 to Man City? Big up to yourself as well, Geordie. But yeah, like I say, Newcastle game. All my Premier League predictions will be out on the community post after this. So do check them out. But yeah, and then Terry's gone City 3-1, and he's on the same wavelength as me in the sense of Morris to get our goal. So there you go. any final things you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Nah, that's it, mate.
There you go. That is it. So yeah, there you go, people. Like I say, community posts, check them out. Yeah, obviously would have had Big Steve on, but he's gone away to France for a couple of days, I believe. So he might be doing a pre-recorded opposition preview. So if he does, then obviously I'll keep your eyes peeled, and that'll be out as a video. But if not, then yeah, I don't really know what's going on for content. I mean, tomorrow regarding the game, I'll let you lot know when I know. Because I might be going to a football game to watch different games. I'm not too sure yet. But if I do go to that other football game, I will do a vlog. So do tune into that. But obviously, if not, vlog from home. But I'm not really sure. I'll find out tomorrow what's going on regarding that. So like I say, I'll let you guys know. And then yeah, we'll do a hat show probably on Monday, reacting to this. And then yeah, we'll do one on Friday. Because I believe it's another Saturday game, isn't it? Against Brentford, another 3:00. And then that one we will definitely have a vlog from home if we don't tomorrow. So yeah, smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Do subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. That'd be much appreciated. And yeah, do subscribe to the other channel as well. T-Boys TV Extra. Obviously, link to that is in the description. Follow me across all my socials. And yeah, again, all that's in the description. I did post a short yesterday, quite a funny one, YouTube short. So do check that out if you haven't already. Us on Instagram and all of that as well. So yeah, until next time, whenever that is, I'll see you lot in a bit. If not, it's tomorrow. It will be Monday for you, Dad. So yeah, big up yourself. Until next time, take care and peace.